and welcome to another interesting episode of Feminine Scope, a program where we discuss issues concerning women, their triumphs and challenges, exploring the experiences and perspective of women from all walks of life. I am Amanda Ezekwe. There are misconceptions and stigma surrounding mental health issues, and research has shown that 1 in 5 women have a common mental health problem. People often suffer in silence and don't get to seek for help. Mental health awareness is a very important initiative. If not taken seriously, could lead to depression, stroke, or even suicide. To improve mental health conditions in our society today, do people actually know they have mental health issues? Why are people stigmatized? Can it be controlled, or does it have a cure? These and many other issues relating to mental health will be the subject of discussion with our guest, who is a mental health advocate. You'll get to meet her when we come back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. We'll be discussing mental health on the show today. My guest is Uju Duru, a media practitioner and a mental health advocate. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
And you too.
So we're talking about mental health today. Most times people hear mental health. What is mental health?
Hey, that's the big question. What is mental health? What isn't mental health, really? Okay, jokes aside, mental health really is, if I can describe it based on medical terms, the way people think, feel, and act. But it also is where you put the culmination of all of that together, it then results into how people will speak. Because what you feel inside of you, you're also going to bring it out. So you could, let me give an example. You could feel stressed or worried about certain things, that you've been feeling stressed. Maybe you don't even have money to eat, and you've been feeling this stress for a very long time. You're not even aware that you're feeling stressed, but you just know that the lack of food is causing you to be worried. Where will I get money to eat? What will I eat? What can even the small money I get buy? Things like that. And then, somebody just asks you for something and you just blurt out, in anger or in whatever way you can blurt out your frustration, and then that's it. So it's how you think. It's the psychological and the sociological aspect of a person's being.
What are the kinds of mental health we have? Because from what you said, think, feel, so there should be different types. So what are the different types of mental health?
So you have anger, actually, is a part of mental health. Anger, you have...
That means everybody in Nigeria has mental health issues.
What are we talking? Hey, we are very angry. We have obsessive compulsive disorder. Maybe somebody is clearing like a table, and then every minute they're putting a cup. They will clean the table. You go and visit a guest right now. You've not even left. They removed your shoe to sweep
the place,
and things like that. OCD. You have depression. At this point you are very almost far gone down the line in your mental health, where your mental health is not healthy. You have eating disorder. Eating disorder can vary between when you're eating too much, or when you're not eating enough, when you're anorexic, or when gluttony is the order of the day. You have not even finished one, you are gulping the food. So, you have that. You have schizophrenia, you have bipolar, you even have bipolar skits, a combination of both multiple personality disorders. So, yeah.
At what point do you think people should seek help? Because most times people don't even know they have mental health. issues.
Let me say this. You cannot seek help if you don't know what it is that you have. And mental health, even though it's almost like a physical being, you know, when you have a headache, some people have a headache, they don't even know they're having a rupture, you know, in their brains that is causing blood. They don't even know that. They just feel like it's a headache. Unless you're aware of the signs and symptoms of mental health, you're not going to know. So awareness first has to come about for people to even know. But then it then takes the people around them to also know what is actually happening to them. Unfortunately, the people around us would usually say things like, oh, it's spiritual attack. So it then makes it difficult for you to even know what is, you know, going, because everything is not a spiritual attack, you know. I'm not saying that spiritual attack doesn't happen, and I'm not going into that religious aspect of things, but I'm saying when it comes to the biology and the makeup of the person, you have to know how the person behaves normally. You have to know how the person acts normally. You have to know how the person feels normally about certain things for you to be able to say this person is, there's something wrong with this person. A person must have lost a little bit of insight or logical thinking. That's, you know, for you to be able to determine that this person has a mental health issue. But some mental health patients can actually be talking to you as if they're making sense, but upstairs there's nothing. It's not.
So do you mean it has gotten to the point of psychosis or something?
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, it's a gradual process. Constant worry, constant negativity, constant trauma effect, you know, from even poverty. Look at, for example, that Godwin Emefiele's
cash policy.
Exactly, the cash policy. You have like people like the unbanked, for example, who weren't keeping their money in the banks, and then they tell you that this Naira notes no longer exists, and after a certain time, you can no longer use it. People were throwing theirs away, burning them, you know, saying it's all useless and all. You would see if somebody is that who has been sweating for his money, you know, after the feeling of dejectedness, the feeling of what am I living for? You know, when your mind starts getting to that point where you're hopeless, there's fear, you don't even know where you're going to get your next daily bread from. You know, at first you were hoping that that policy will not even stand. And then it now looked like that policy was actually going to take effect. And then people were all over the place. Now, are you telling me that that person will not lose his mind? Constant worry, constant trauma or negative effect, because that's your only source of livelihood, you're going to lose your mind. And that's where psychosis comes in, you know. And then also when you mix chemicals and stuff, let's say you start taking alcohol or even start taking drugs, because drugs and drinking chemicals, when it mixed with your system, not everybody has that system, you know, to be able to hold it. And then you lose your mind. The chemical combination, that's even a different side, different topic completely, you know, on some of the things that actually cause mental health, you know, that cause psychosis in human beings.
Because the awareness has not been enough in this part of the climb, what are some of the misconceptions about mental health?
You know, I said, you know, earlier that we say it's a spiritual attack, so that's a misconception. I watched a 1-minute video about mental health in Nigeria. I can't remember the group that actually did that video, and you would see people who would take their loved ones that they said were mentally unstable to all these herbalists, to all these in and around not Abuja, Nigeria, yeah. They're in chains. They're in dilapidated buildings and areas where you yourself will not even feel comfortable being there. But They are left there, they are put there, they are beaten with sticks. That, you know, the misconception that everything is a spiritual attack, or I'm hopeless, I don't know what, you know, to do, or it's going to cost me millions and millions. Yes, mental health is a very expensive, an unhealthy mind is a very expensive illness to have, you know. But if you are aware of it from the onset, it will not get to that point where it will then be that expensive. Simple things like sleep can actually cure mental health.
Really?
Yes, sleep. So, for example, I'll give another example. A woman who is just giving birth, her husband isn't helping her in the house. She's the one that is cooking, she's the one that is cleaning, she's the one that is doing all the house chores. And then your mother and your sister come, you beat her and tell her that she should go and cook for them and do everything. And yeah, you're just sitting and crossing leg, you know. What do you think is going to happen to that person? Meanwhile, she has a newborn baby to take care of that is constantly crying, constantly, you know, looking. Baby's moody, you know. Not every baby's like that, but some babies, you know. You can't get sleep. And even because of the fact that your baby is new, doesn't mean that even if they're not crying, you're not going to be paying attention to them, because that's also the time for you to get to know your baby, to know, you know, to understand their body language, because they can't speak. So when you do all of those things, how else do you think that a woman is going to have postnatal depression? It's because she has not been able to sleep. If you don't sleep well, usually some people will tell you 6 hours a day is okay for you to sleep. It's a lie. Sleep your 8 hours and sleep it well. If you have to go to bed, sleep it. Sleep. Go 7 o'clock, wake up 4 o'clock. Yeah, okay. Just mark your sleep and make sure that you sleep well, because like dogs, for example, they are able to heal their bodies. We human beings were also able to heal ourselves once we are able to sleep. So during the process of sleep, your body system heals. And when your body system starts healing, you see yourself, you'll be better for you. You'll be more productive. Because if you have loads of people that run around the country now, mentally unstable, please tell me, how much productivity are we going to? Even if NLC continues to strike from today to tomorrow, it's a lie. We are not going to be productive. There's no productivity. You're just going to be walking zombies. Do you understand? Because you've not slept. You're mentally unstable. What good are you going to bring out? Because when you're mentally stable, you're able to think, you're able to bring out ideas. Everybody knows all this negative, you know, you're able to do things collectively that by the time you know it, hello, is it the country? You know, people will be looking and be like, hey, this is my country, or hey, we are doing things, so, you know, things like that. But you have to first take your mental health into cognizance before you can even add any value to society.
You know that in this country, there's a particular state where as early as 3 a.m. people are up and, you know, you know where I'm talking about. Now,
yeah.
Yes, in Lagos.
No.
As early as 3 a.m. people, yes.
Because of the traffic.
Yes, because of the traffic. And, you know, would you say traffic is also a contributor to mental health?
Even in Abuja here, I dared go to Marabanyanya area once, you know, doing a sleepover with a friend. I woke up at 4 a.m. just so that I would not meet traffic coming into town to go to work. Hello. Then you now even be doing one way because that place is already gridlocked. No way to pass at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Then what are you expecting? People will be okay, and then that's the same traffic coming back. This Abuja, coming back, and then you're wondering what time will these people go to bed? By the time you get home, you're tired. The inhalation from the smoke, the fumes from the cars, everything, the noise. Your mind's already stressed, your body's already stressed, and then you now look at the time, 10 10 o'clock, you're getting home. Then you now want to sleep, then it's now 4 o'clock that you're waking up. Hello. You're not going to have a productive person the next day now. You can't have a productive person. Traffic is not even the only cause of this thing. All the bomb blasts that we're having across the country, all this terrorism that is going on, who do you think is actually resting? The people that their loved ones have been terrorized, have either been kidnapped, have been bombed, killed during a bomb blast, have lost property, have lost they've lost their sanity. I won't be surprised if some of them are some of the ones that are on the street, because the shock, the trauma of actually being in these areas is too much for somebody to, I myself have felt it. I have witnessed it. I was coming back from church, 2012, I believe, when, I believe it was 2012, the Park and Shop, first bomb blast within town, and it was just the windows that had blown out, for example. So I was trying to get to my house and I just couldn't. Military, DSS, all over the place. Hey, I can see my house, but I can't go there. I was literally begging. I was literally almost crying. Please, oh God, that's just my house over there. Please, just let me, please, oh God. My friend, will you move back? And then by the time I came out from church around, I go to my house around like 9ish, because church finished around 8:30 or thereabouts. By the time I got into my house, it was 12 p.m. My mom was in the house, and the distance is not that far. The first bomb blast, my mom felt it ricocheting under her feet because the earth moved. The second bomb blast, I felt it at 12 midnight when they were able to detonate it. But at that point of feeling that whole drama, I call it drama, it's not as if it was like, because it was things that you seen in the movies, but you never thought that you see it yourself,
Yeah.
And it's ended up being me now feeling it, me now wondering to myself, is this the life I'm going to be living in this place? Like, what's going on here? When that bomb blast happened, I felt a bit uneasy, but I was still managed, kept going. Then the next one happened, the young bomb blast happened, and like, am I even safe here? And then at some point, me, helicopters flying over. I said, oh my God. You now start feeling like, am I really safe? Is there? Then Emma bomb blast now happened. Hey! I lost it. No kidding. I lost it.
Was that what led you into mental health advocacy?
Yes. Oh, yes. Because there's no one. The government don't even care or never even cared. Because at that time, I was even so angry with Jonathan at that time that 40 Pottiscombe boys had been kidnapped. Even if some people said it was not real, but these people have been kidnapped. What are you doing to help the kids? What were you doing to even help the families? Do you understand what I mean? Like, the mental torture that I just lost my child, but yet what were we celebrating? 100 years anniversary of a centenary anniversary. Who cares? My mind is going. Terrorism was all over the place. And then it was the same time happened. Emma bomb blast happened. And right before my right before my eyes, I see somebody, his shoulder, the wound, it had pierced through the flesh. You're seeing bone. The flesh, you see this epidemic, this one, whatever they call it, you see the white, the different, and then you're not seeing blood. Oh my God, that's why I can't be a doctor. The guy came rushing to me. "Ah, madam, please help me. I'm like, please, who can? Please, in my frenzy, I didn't even know what to do. Rushed, put him in a taxi. The taxi man did not even collect money. He went and,
Dropped him.
And I could have been part of the whole thing, yeah? But the fact that you actually, not that I could have been, I was part of the whole thing because it happened in my neighborhood. And then you don't see government come and ask, how are you doing? Can we offer you a counselor? Because we understand the effect of all that has happened. Money is not everything. You can't give somebody money in replacement of the mind for such a terror attack. You can't. You can't buy your way out of certain things. You must give the people what they want, and sanity is what they want. Now, while we're trying to fight these people, you have to make provision for counselors to help administer whatever kind of counseling they can to help the mind become productive. This is not about laziness or people who don't want to do right.
Are you saying that the government has not provided enough resources for people to be helped?
150 as of when I last did my research, yeah? And that is if that research is even accurate till today. 150 psychiatric doctors were what we had available for 200 plus million citizens. Now do the math. Calculate, divide 150 by 200 people, and you will see how many, for one doctor, yeah, how many people they can actually take care of. We don't even have we don't even have there were only about 8 resource centers for psychiatrists specialists in Nigeria, with only 4. 8, and with only 4 at the time working, or at one time. And then only Lagos, yeah, had even a center that was actually working, but they were overstretched. They don't even pay, there is no funding, no serious funding for mental health treatment in Nigeria. There is none. What are we talking about? I can go mad and nobody will care, but they'll be laughing at me. That, this is that mad woman. But they don't even know that they can be next because there's no care, no facility to take care of. No, even with the Japa syndrome that has happened, I wish that 150 is not even 0. It's true. Because even in the abroad that everybody's running to, it's not as if it's easy or it's rosy over there. But as long as you're a doctor, it's better for you. You have a better economical value to your profession than when you're here in Nigeria. We don't pay our doctors enough, so why then are they going to be here? And then we can't take care of the ill treatments and the ills that are happening in society. So what's the point? What really is the point? Even, I dare say, some of these people that are doing all these terrorism, they've been terrorized. They are part of the system where the system failed them. There was no body to look after them because of the trauma they faced. Yeah, they lost insights and any logical thinking whatsoever, and then decided to go into terrorizing the country as well, just to get the attention of the government. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to revenge something that, and then you're now doing it to people that did not do anything to you. What did we do to you? You want to get their attention. Oh yeah, go and meet them directly now. But why are you coming to meet us?
So it's affecting everybody.
It's everybody. But let me also say this. Whatever is happening now in society and our mental health did not start today. It started from yesteryears. When I say yesteryears, the colonization that left loads of Nigerians thinking, what is my value system? Who am I? I'm nothing. I'm no one. The white man is better than I am. You pass on that ideology to your children because you're not in awareness of yourself. You know, you have no value to yourself. And then you go into from colonization into, because even during colonization, so many different things happened, where even if you wanted to get credit, banking credit for certain things, as a black person, they won't even give you. You know, they would rather give it to the whites. I recently wrote a chapter in a book for a university about the history or evolution of money, and I found out that, you know, there was a lot of policies that did not favor the blacks or the people within a certain group that were colonized, you know, by their colonizers. So when you have that and finances is involved, you're passing down, I'm losing all my money. I'm losing the same thing that I'm working hard for. Now, you go from that to Biafra, or you go from that to even civil war. What are you expecting? Igbos divided, the whole country divided, Northerners divided, Southerners divided, everybody divided. There's no trust. There is fear of the next person, fear of this person. My mental health is, if I go and stay in this place, am I sure they will not kill? Let me not go there. Your mental health is at play. There is no, then you now go into military rule. Hello.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
That will take us to stigmatization when we come back.
Okay. No problem.
We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the stigmatization in mental health. Stay tuned.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity, because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of ASO Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, ASO Television DSTV Channel 392, Star Times Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Feminine Scope, and we have been talking mental health. We still have our guest in the studio, Uju Duru, a mental health advocate. Before we went on a short break, we were talking about, the stigmatization and all that. Why do people stigmatize mental health patients?
The major problem we have right now in Nigeria is that even the law stigmatizes those with mental health. But yet, it's the same government that creates the mental health issues.
Okay, how does the law stigmatize them?
Okay, so you already created a system where the economy is bad, where people are already struggling. They can't even breathe. And then somebody wants to go and kill himself because he can't afford food. He cannot steal. If he steals, they will do whatever. If he does what, gets himself involved in anything that is, Even if he tries, he can't even make money because then unemployment is high. And then you want to jump. And then you now tell him, if you jump, I will punish you. What are you punishing him for? Have you gone to get him the help that he needs? Have you gone to say, okay, I understand that the situation is not good, but can I help you? Can I look at your situation from a different angle? I won't punish you, but I'll provide you counseling. I will provide you the resources that you need for your mind to have hope again. Because if he dies and everybody die, who are they going to govern? Who will they will not govern themselves? They can't govern themselves now. Because the people are the ones that are really feeling the itch. The itch. Do you understand? They are feeling the pain. They have, you know, when something is breaking you, like prickling you, it's that prick. It's not even, you know, it's paining you. You are pinching the person. It's not even blood that is coming out. The whole flesh have even go. Like, the pain is too much. It's unbearable. Should be our president said, let the poor breathe. Let the mental health people breathe. Can we breathe, please? Can you give us counseling so that we can be okay? Can you at least try? Because it's not everybody that is opportune to have families that can rally around you and say no. Some people with their mental health, their families even stigmatize them. It's either they beat them, they throw them out of the house, they take advantage of them and take their monies or their properties and stuff. You know, not everybody that has good family around them, but even the ones that even have good family, are they not also struggling? Because mental health, it doesn't only affect the person that it's happening to, it affects even the family members. Who is going to take care of those ones? Because you now say it is my burden. And then people are afraid to even come out to say, I'm experiencing this. And then you expect productivity in society. You can't expect what you have not put in. You can only get what you have put into society. And what you have put into society is what is being brought out. So all our past leaders should know that whatever the government or whatever this government is facing, is as a product of what they put in or what they failed to put in. That's what it is. Because you can't expect me to be productive, a productive member in my office or in my community without scars that are irreparable sometimes. Because people who are mentally unhealthy would look for anything because their mind is not even here. They are anything to sort out the pain. That's just what it is. So, and when it now affects them, they start crying wolf. But you need not cry wolf because you did not give us what we needed so that we can be productive in society or not allow the ills of society. Because right now in Nigeria, so many things are happening and you're wondering where is this coming from? But you have to look at the mind. Again, like the physical body, how somebody is ill. You have a stomach ache, you have ulcer, you have any sort of ailments physically, It's the same way your mind is too. It starts gradually from something, from somewhere, and then it builds up. And we fail to realize that even the mind, when your mind is unhealthy, it will affect your physical being. When your physical being is unhealthy, it will affect your mind. The two are intertwined. One is not without the other.
Okay, so how can we help a mental health patient who is struggling, and how can government help them?
By providing the necessary resources. You have to provide the necessary resources. You have to provide psychiatric centers. You have to even put the necessary infrastructure in those psychiatric centers. You also need psychiatric doctors because even though AI is in place, AI is not going to help us. We need human beings to tell us our problem, to communicate. Because for mental health, the basic thing is counseling. It's therapy. It's talking, yeah? And it's giving, there's certain exercises you do within the therapy sessions that will help you. You know, it's not a one-day thing. It's not a 2-day thing. It's not a 3-day thing. It's a long period of time. So we need to put in resources to fund infrastructures that will help us, the community, the society, the country, to grow and be productive so that we can make right decisions.
What about individuals helping people who are struggling with mental health when you meet them?
How many? Okay, so if you're not aware of mental health, yeah, you're not going to even be able to help the person. Because it is, when I say it takes a toll. It takes a toll. It takes a toll on you as a person. Then when you are now feeling and acting, doing all those actions, activities that even the person who wants to take care of you, and then they'll be talking to you and they're not listening, you'll be saying something else. You don't think they'll be tired? Human beings naturally are even impatient. Before you even find someone who is patient enough, you must have gone through decades of schooling, be patient. You've not finished taking care of, some of your own issues, because even the person that wants to take care of it, that doesn't mean that the person doesn't have their own issues that they're dealing with. But for them to now say, okay, I'm going to put my mind and my time to take, no. It's difficult. The government needs to assist. You need counselors, you need psychiatrists. We don't even have them. In Abuja alone, you don't have psychiatric centers, as in not psychiatric centers that will help those with drugs or with alcohol addictions and stuff. Psychiatric centers that comes from either postnatal depression that is not chemical affiliated, yeah, but hormonal affiliated from trauma experiences. You don't have that. It's not to be pumping the medication, because sometimes medications aren't good, but sometimes it gets to the level that you get to. Medication is the only way. Otherwise, we don't even understand what's going to be happening. Because you'll be talking to somebody, you are saying A, the person is saying Z. How is it that you want to even communicate? But before the person starts to say Z, if you catch the person while the person is still doing B-C, then you'll be able to catch it on time. But if you are catching the person, hello, the person is far gone now. Where do you want to begin? That one, you need bed rest. That one, we need bed rest. Pumping of whatever, food, yeah. Talking, a lot of talking sessions, yeah. But before you even get to the part where they'll be talking, especially for the person that is far gone, you will be doing, there's a lot of scratching. I don't want to be here. Who told you I'm mad? You are the one that is mad, There's a lot of that. So if we can catch it on time, catch it, and that's what I tell people. Individuals, animals, we don't need animals, but all human beings. If you know there's something that is stressing you, your work, your personal relationship, all this boyfriend-girlfriend matter, yeah? Hello, let's be talking to people now, yeah? It's not the end of the world, though. If you know it has affected you, that your feeling is no longer, how will I put it? Not sublime, calm, yeah? Your feelings are no longer calm when you think you have this itch or this nudge or this, thing, that happens, your vein, your blood, your body job is doing somehow. It's not a laughing matter now. It's, you should start to tell yourself, I'm not going to let my emotions get the best of me. I'm not going to allow myself be bothered. I know I don't like the fact that he cheated on me. I know I don't like. You have to start saying certain things to yourself. I know I don't like what is happening around me. I know I'm scared. I know. Be honest with yourself. Yeah? and then you would help yourself to heal. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to isolate, isolate for a while, yeah? But don't isolate for too long. Don't be like me, please. Don't be, because after that, Emma Bomblas, I don't leave my house, eh? The way I used to leave my house. Before, party, hello, clubbing, hello. It's not even age. But now, 7 o'clock, I'm inside my house. My mother will be shouting. My sister will be like, what are you doing? You are even in bed. What is even the time? 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. My friend, will you get? I said, please. I will tell my mom, mommy, please, my excuse. You see, when I was a child, you told me that I should be going to bed early. Now I'm going to bed early. You are complaining. She said, no, you are an adult now. Don't listen to me again.
So that you mean that trauma still followed you?
Till today. I'm not going to even lie to you. Even my neighborhood, they tell, once I enter my house, I'm not coming out. I am not. What am I coming out to do? Although sometimes I feel like I'm missing out. But I say, what am I really missing out on? I can see some people going out doing all sorts of things, and then I would be like, I can go. There's nothing happening out there, you know. I should be able to. They don't have 10 heads, but then I'm like, what if it's when I go out that's when something is going to happen to me? I'm too afraid to even want to. If I had to go out by 8 o'clock, I have to be in my house. Before 8 o'clock, sometimes I have to be at home.
So, what are your final words?
My final words
to people who have mental health issues and to people who stigmatize people who have mental health issues.
Okay, I would say to people who have mental health issues, know yourself. Be able to know your actions before and know how you're acting now. Know the difference in your behavior, and so that you know whether you need help, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, to those who stigmatize, rather than stigmatize, why not help? Why not be that person that helps someone to live another day? Because suicide is not the option. That's it. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much, Uju, for taking our time to be with us, and thank you for sharing your insights and perspective on mental health issues.
You're welcome.
Our guest has been Uju Duru, a media practitioner and a mental health advocate. Mental illnesses affect 19% of the adult population, 46% of teenagers, and 13% of children every year. There are people who are struggling with their mental health. It could be your friend, your colleague, or even a family member. Only half of those receive treatment or therapy. Optimal health starts with a combination of physical, emotional, and mental wellness. Unfortunately, overwhelmingly, stress factors inhibit our ability to make healthier lifestyle choices. You shouldn't be ashamed of your emotions. Your feelings are something you should learn from and work with. Let's normalize seeking help, and please show love and empathy to anyone you know going through this. Do not stigmatize them. We can raise awareness and reduce stigma around mental health issues. Remember that everyone experiences mental health issues at some point in their lives. Do not underestimate the importance of just being there for someone. This is where we draw the curtain on the show today. Join me same time next week. Bye-bye.